What's going on, guys? Welcome to your match review sponsored by the One Football app for all your up-to-date footballing news. And just before we get into the Manchester United 4, Norwich 0, also wanted to alert you guys to the fact that I told you on my last video that during my fight camp, I'm going to be raising charity for the bushfires in Australia, as well as my homeless initiative that I do every year. This will be the third year. So there's a link in the description also where you can donate if you cannot make the fight. If you do want to make the fight and you would like to buy tickets, there's also a link to buy tickets in the description. If you can make the fight and you also want to donate, that's cool as well, guys. But all for a good cause. Looking forward to seeing you guys there that can make it. And for those who can't, I'm looking forward to seeing how much we can raise for the two causes. Okay. United 4, Norwich 0. And it was good. It was good, guys, in spells. I think at the beginning of the game, I wasn't too impressed. I thought that we weren't keeping the ball that well at the beginning, but I thought that we grew into it, if I'm completely honest. And one thing I did like, and one thing I've been saying, is against teams like Norwich that are going to allow you to have the ball, like they're going to be expansive, they're going to leave gaps, yeah? You don't really need to be starting a Daniel James. Like, I always said that Daniel James is the kind of player that away from home, against one of the top teams where you need the industry, where you need that extra body defensively and all of that, you need him. It was good to see that Oli didn't go for him today, because yesterday, should I say, because this wasn't a match for him. What I was confused about was where were Pereira and Mata playing, because it looked like Pereira was on the right and Mata was in the middle, but actually Pereira spent so much time not on the right that Mata was drifting out to the right. I don't know if they were interchanging or if Mata started on the right. I couldn't tell, innit, but that confused me. For me, Mason, Rashford and Martial have to start as our front three. I think that it's evident that that needs to happen. And Mata played in the 10, or even if he didn't play in the 10, he played because he is a 10. And his creativity showed yesterday, 2 assists. And against teams like Norwich, one Mata can play. The fan base is very reactionary. We see loads of people on Twitter, not messaging me, but messaging other people saying, he said Mata was dead, his legs are gone. They are gone. But I also said against little teams like Norwich, you can't tell me that one Mata can't play against Norwich, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're bottom of the league for a reason. The reason why they're bottom of the league is because they're a very good footballing team, but they don't have very good footballers. So their philosophy is correct, but against teams that have better players than them, that this nice football is not always going to work. Like, it's not. Like, the best way for a lot of these teams who come up that can't afford the top players, yeah, to stay up is to be industrial, be hard to beat, and to just be awkward and physical, innit? And Norwich are not that. Norwich are very easy to beat if you can play football on their level, innit? Because then it comes down to the sheer ability. And that's what it is. And that's why I say, like, when you watch La Liga, the reason why, like, it's easy for Real Madrid to beat these teams 8-0 and all that is because these teams don't come to stifle Real Madrid. These men come to play football with them. In the Liga, most teams play a similar style of football. So you don't have to prepare for different teams. In England, when you play against, like an Allardyce West Ham or a Pulis Stoke, do you know what I mean? And different managers, they set up their teams different ways. So you're preparing to play loads of different types of football. Whereas in the Liga, most of the time, unless you're playing Atletico Madrid, yeah, who like to park everything, like, you're playing against teams that do try and play. So Norwich are easy to break down if you got better players than them. And we saw that yesterday, innit? So when people were getting excited about Juan Mata saying, yo, he's rejuvenated, he's back. Nah, if you still play Juan Mata away to Sheffield United, he ain't going to give you nothing, innit? So I think that it's very important to read into the situation and the circumstances of yesterday as opposed to seeing it as, yo, that Mata's back, like he has to play. No. The whole point of having a squad and the whole point of being a tactical manager is you play certain managers for certain players for certain games. Yesterday, Matt starting was spot on. We know that was down to injury. Injury is why he started. But the bottom line is, if we're playing a formation that we need a number 10, we should always be playing a number 10. That's why my problem with Angel not getting games has been so big, because we're playing a 4-2-3-1. It's not like we're playing a 4-3-3 where man don't need a 10, you could play 2 8s. We need a 10 to create, and Mata did that yesterday, created 2 balls. The first ball to Marcus Rashford's goal was all about Juan Mata's pass. Like, he couldn't miss that, innit? As long as he makes contact with the ball, he scores. Brilliant ball. Brilliant ball. And then the second cross for Martial, the cross for Martial's header, proper number 9 finish. I was super happy for Tony, because in this system, he does so much off the ball, linking and stuff like that, and the ball's always fed out wide. So he's very, very rarely played through one-on-one to get chances. Like, a lot of the time when Tony's getting the ball, it's back to goal and he has to hold it. So because of that, he's sacrificing his own stats to boost other people's. So it was nice to see him get the goal as well. Rashi bagged another pen, which is always good. Rashi's on course. I think he's on course to break Lukaku's record in his first season, which is brilliant. I want that gone, so Rom can stop talking rubbish, because man's always talking about United. He's not here no more, but any opportunity he's got, he just wants to flap gums. So it'll be interesting to see how many Rashford and Martial finish on combined. And I did say, that these men should be finishing the season on 50 goal and assists combined. And we're halfway through the season and they're on 30 something already, I think, which isn't bad. I think they could do it, and that would be amazing if they get a GA or 50 between them. That's wavy. And then you look at Mason Greenwood, who I'd like to say he's got 9 goals. I think he has. If he hasn't, correct me, guys. I'm not really sure. Last time I checked, he had 8, but yeah, I think he's got 9 goals this season, and the guy don't start games. It's brilliant. So when you think of them 3 in one team, there's a lot of goals there, innit? It's what goes on behind them, which needs to be the focal point of this transfer window. There's talks of Bruno Fernandes. I ain't getting gassed until I see it happen, because bare man were like, oh yeah, Bruno's coming into Carrington. Yeah, the man played. He played yesterday. It wasn't Bruno Fernandes. I said it looked like Skriniar, and he could be part of like a deal with Ashley Young going to Inter Milan or something like that. But unless Woodward got a plant and someone to come in and cover his face, and it was no one, but it definitely wasn't Bruno. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see if we do any business in January. I said we wouldn't do any, and I'm still sure we won't do any. I think that Sporting are probably just trying to raise the prices, raise the price for Bruno. Not saying that I wouldn't be extremely happy if he does come. Do you know what I mean? It would be a great signal of intent, but at the same time, I'm not getting carried away. We've seen this all before. We signed Haaland as well, bruv. He was signing United shirts, and it was a given. Ollie flew out there. It didn't happen. So I'm not really going to get into the Bruno Fernandes thing. Overall, the football yesterday, I was happy enough with it. Happy enough with it, man. I still think that in possession we need to be better, but I don't think it's realistic for me to expect that under this current manager, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much. He's made it very clear the style of football that he likes. You know what I mean? And we're not going to see a lot of the ball against decent football teams, innit? Because that's not what he wants to do. But I think there were spells in the game where we weren't incisive enough. But one matter, his presence actually gave us a decent platform to build off, innit? If you swap one matter for Jesse Lingard in that game, we don't score 4 goals. Lucky if we scored 2. Brandon Williams, bruv, it's mad, you know. It's mad. I retweeted a photo on Twitter, and it showed a picture of Luke Shaw in 2017, and then now, bro, and it's a madness. And when I said that Luke Shaw would never, ever, ever play for man, that's what I meant. Like, it's crazy. He's literally twice the size. The guy can't get up and down. You see the way Brandon Williams, like, literally put his foot down to win that penalty and bomb forward, different, innit? He's not a good defender. I'm going to be honest, innit? I have to be honest in my assessment. I like him. He's not a good defender, but he can get away with not being a good defender if the team's set up right. If the team's set up right. So, do you know what I mean? I was very impressed with Brandon Williams, man. His energy and his enthusiasm. And his first thought when we're attacking is to get up with the play. Like I said before with Luke Shaw likes to run forward, but he kind of holds back just in case he needs to turn around. Brandon Williams is going past play and bombing into the box, man. And you want that because it means that the wide players can drift inside. Do you know what I mean? And also it pulls players out of position when you've got a player making a run that traditionally they shouldn't really be making, being in areas they shouldn't be making. Who picks him up? So that was brilliant from Brandon. De Gea, one of his better games, made a very good save from Cantwell when the game was still in the balance. Do you know what I mean? Other than that, I wouldn't say that De Gea was too busy. That's what you want. Wan-Bissaka going forward was very good. People say he can't attack and this, that, but he can attack, but he needs to be in a fluid system and he needs to be under clear instructions. Ollie's saying that he's given Wan-Bissaka more license to go forward, but him having license to go forward was never the issue. It's the club, the team having an attacking shape so that he knows when to go, where to go. Because if you look at City's fullbacks, for instance, sometimes they don't just overlap. Sometimes they come inside. Like, it's all planned. You know what I mean? We don't really have that. So Wan-Bissaka's finding his feet as an attacking player. He's improving game after game. And he will continue to do so. It's a new role for him. At Crystal Palace, when you're on the back foot, and his Fort Knox back there, like, he would just have to defend. And now he has to do other things, which he is doing quite well. Happy with it. Maguire and Lindelof, calm. Apart from a few shaky headers from Victor, I think he was good. Not much to read about. There's a lot of people posting like Victor Lindelof propaganda, yeah, on Twitter. Like some mad deceptive stats saying like in the Premier League, like he's got the highest like Jules 1 or something like that and all of this. I prefer to do the eye test with players, innit? Like, I prefer to do the eye test and then I look at stats to see if they reflect what I see rather than looking at stats and then ignoring what my eyes see, innit? Victor Lindelof still looks mad shaky to me, innit? And he looks like he's got a mistake in him every game. He lacks authority in attacking the ball. That will not change. But I think as much as he doesn't suit Harry Maguire, stylistically, he's the least of our problems. I still think that Luke Shaw at left back is a bigger problem than Lindelof at centre back. So for me, unfortunately, if Ashley Young goes, loads of people saying they're happy that Ashley Young's leaving, but I wasn't, and I'm not. Like I said, that he would be good to have in the dressing room one, and also for me, he's the second best left back, yeah, like at the club now behind Brandon in an attacking sense. But in the big games like Liverpool away, I'd play Ashley Young at left back ahead of Brandon Williams and Luke Shaw. I would. So if the Ashley Young option isn't there, that means that Luke Shaw's our senior left back. That worries me, innit? Not gonna lie. Fred, doing Fred things, boy. There was one pass that Fred played. I think it was in the build-up for one of the goals. I can't remember which goal it was, but the weight of the pass, the direction of the pass, beautiful, innit? And that's what Fred does. Fred breaks up the play. A lot of the time, not only does he tackle, but he'll put his body in front, win little smart fouls, do stuff like that. These things don't get picked up by a lot of fans. They don't. They'd rather wait till he gives the ball away and then see, I told you I was right about him. The facts are, you weren't, innit? Fred's a player. Like, I think we've seen enough of Fred now to know that Fred's a starter for Manchester United. Like, that's it, innit? He's good enough to start for Manchester United and he's good enough to start for any team in the top 6, bruv, in the right system. He is. So, I'm very happy to see what he's doing. I still think he's got another gear to go up once the football's more fluid, once the people in midfield are better. He's got Matic next to him. Matic's calmness and assurity, yeah, is good. It's good to have in there. But he doesn't have legs, unfortunately, bruv. So in other games, Matic will get exposed. But this was not one of those games. I thought Matic, yeah, he adds a calmness because Fred's very get the ball, take a touch, give it, move. Fred's very quick thinking, very quick acting. Whereas Matic, sometimes when you need someone to just take the sting out of a game, that's what Michael Carrick used to do for us. Everyone be playing at 100 miles an hour, Carrick would get it out his feet. Nope, cut it back, move it along. Everything just in his own time. And Matic does that sometimes to the detriment of the team because he dwells on the ball and loses it. But yesterday, I thought he was good. You know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? There's no Matic agenda. When Matic plays well, he played well. When Matic played shit, he played shit. But overall, I just think that he's a past it player. He's definitely past his best. I think that you lose a lot when he comes in. You gain stuff when Matic comes in, but you lose more than you gain in it, which is why long term I don't see Matic having a future at this club. But then if Matic leaves, then that's another midfielder down. Then you're looking at Herrera, Fellaini, Matic, 3 midfielders possibly leaving without replacing one. So United have a big rebuild on their hands because Jimmy Garner ain't ready as much as these men are saying. You know what I mean? He's not ready. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Matic. Very interesting. And then obviously the front three, Pereira went off anyway, so we'll talk about Mason. What a finish. What a finish. That's all I can say. Like, the way this guy gets it out of his feet and he shoots through defenders' legs. This is not a coincidence, guys. Like, he scores way too many goals like this at every level for people to think, right, man gets lucky. No. He shifts the ball out of his feet and he puts it through these guys' legs. Like, this level of technical ability for a player his age, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in world football. I honestly haven't. He's special, like, and I said it before, man like Greenwood, yeah, he's special. Because when I look at Mbappe and that, yeah, Mbappe at that age, Mbappe's intelligence, amazing, and his pace is what kind of set Mbappe out from everyone else. And I'm not comparing the two as footballers because Mbappe is a world-class player. Mason's just a prospect. But the assuredness of Mason, yeah, the way he strikes the ball, the way he manipulates it, the way he almost puts the defenders where he wants to put them, yeah, it's just it's a similar level in terms of not footballing ability, but the football IQ. Like, he ain't Mbappe levels or anywhere near it yet. But in terms of the way these men are young and they're making grown men just look like traffic cones, yeah, like, this guy's potential is frightening. And I just think that Mason's got to play every game now. I think there comes a time in, like, as a manager, where you just have to make a decision. Like, me personally, if a brother keeps scoring goals, I'm just going to play him. Because Daniel James scored a few goals early on and Ollie just kept playing him. And he ain't scored a goal since September and Ollie kept playing him. Mason pretty much scores every time he's on the pitch. And if he doesn't, he almost scores. Do you see what I mean? So for me, this guy's got to be starting. I don't want to hear the age malarkey. I don't want to hear it, bruv. Because I said it, Rooney, Owen, these man, yeah, when they were that age, were playing ball, blood. And no one was talking about their age. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Mason Greenwood needs to be starting on that right-hand side in games that suit him. Games that he's going to get space around the box. Games that he's not going to get clattered. Especially a lot of home games, innit? Away from home, if you don't really want to play Mason, fine, innit? But I think at home, Mason Greenwood has to get a start. And then Matic, you know. Rashford and Martial, them two, and I'm addressing them together because these men clearly love playing football together, innit? They play for each other, and it's just a joy to watch. That same Rashford interview that I watched where Rashi said that before LVG called him up, he'd only played as a striker one season. So when I was saying that Rashford ain't a striker, he's clearly not a striker. He hasn't been educated as a striker. He admitted it himself, innit? So that argument's done, innit? Marcus Rashford is not a striker. But this guy and Martial, he said that Martial and Pogba are the two players that he enjoys playing with the most. These are the men that look for him, he looks for them. And you can just see it, bro. Like, obviously the obvious York and Cole comparisons get made because they're two black guys and York and Cole are two black guys. But actually, these man are friends, bro. Like, they're actually brethren. Just like York and Cole are still brethren to this day. Them man still go on holiday together and do stuff together. Rashford and Martial genuinely are friends, innit? And they look for each other. And you see it in the goals. When one scores, the other one's always involved somewhere. And they're not going to have the same level of communication as York and Cole, because them man played in the 2, innit? These men are playing in the 3, but they're playing for each other. You can see the genuine joy, yeah, when either one of them score. They always celebrate together. And long term for the club, that's going to be very, very important. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just add a third man to that mix that's ready to go. Obviously, I want Jadon, yeah. I'm worried that he might end up at Liverpool because I forgot that man's got the Klopp link there, innit? I completely forgot about that. Klopp's got that Dortmund link. So if man's available, he could get dibs and probably get a better deal than we'll get. Do you know what I mean? But I'd love Jadon Sancho on that right-hand side. And the chemistry between them three would be an absolute mazza. Like, Rashford's bagging goals. Martial is bagging goals. Mason's bagging goals. We got a lot to be happy with. And obviously, my man of the match here will be Juan Mata, for the simple fact that man got 2 assists in a shape that we haven't really been creating much in. Do you know what I mean? We've been relying on Rashford trickery to win penalties and other things like that. And actually, Mata showed that when you play a traditional number 10 in a formation that you need a traditional number 10, things can happen in it. And he's got the weight of pass, the intelligence and all these things to unlock defences. And that's what he done twice. So half of the goals he was responsible for, because the delivery for both of them is the reason why we scored, innit? Martial's not a prolific header of the ball. Like, he was able to head the ball like that because the cross was that good. And the same with Rashford's finish. Rashford was able to finish it with that ease because of the cross, because Rashford ain't no prolific one-touch finisher. He's not a fox in the box, innit? But the cross was so good that man scored, innit? Like, he couldn't miss. So my man of the match is going to be Juan Mata for this. Let me know what your man of the match, or who your man of the match is. Anything that what did you take from the game that I haven't touched on already? So if like certain aspects tactically that you picked up where there might be weaknesses, or you thought someone did well, like, let us know in the comment section, guys. And yeah, that was your match review, man. Overall, happy. Not getting carried away against winning against bottom of the league, because you have to put it all into context, guys. I think people are too reactionary. We've been playing rubbish, and then we get a win, a 4-0 win at home. All of a sudden, people will be screaming, yeah. See, like, Ollie's at the wheel and all of that, and yeah, we're going to be fine and that. Listen, there's a long season to go. We've got Liverpool. We got another leg against City. Like, in all honesty, in the next month, we could potentially be out of every competition. And then all of a sudden, do you know what I'm saying? The complexion looks different again, which is why I'm not going to be reactionary and think that man turned the corner, because, like, the problems that I have identified from the very beginning are very much still there. So I'm finding it very hard to pretend to, but just be overly positive for no reason. I can't pretend that I don't see the issues in it. So let me know your thoughts on the game yesterday, guys. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. And as I said, in the description, you have your links for your tickets, for your donations. And also, as usual, I have a discount code in there for clothes as well. I always have in there, and that'll always be there for you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your day. Got the Fresh Ego Kid. We've got the charity game against Fresh Ego Kid today, raising money for an FA initiative for mental health. If you're in London, you're welcome to come down. It's at Rayners Lane Football Club. Kickoff's at 2:00. And yes, £2.50 for entry. All the money we raise will go to charity. So we got a busy day, hence why I got my tracksuit on. Man's about to do that Rantana on the sideline, bruv. Rants Guardiola, Tiki Taka. The footage will be coming to you on the United stand. We've got a full media team there. Sky Sports are going to be there, Talk Sport, ITV, all of these guys. And then also we've got individual camera people, so you're going to be able to see what's going on in the dressing room, on the touchline, cameras everywhere. And my brother's going to be hosting the day. So it's going to be a massive event that we've put together. So if you're not able to come down, look out for the footage on the United stand, guys. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Hope you lot have a good afternoon. And yo, I'm going to catch you lot tomorrow for Rants Red Talk. Peace.